Every trader believes they are prepared for the battle until they stand in front of the tape and feel the pressure of every tick. The 1-minute chart looks harmless at first glance, just tiny movements and short bursts of price. But the 1-minute chart exposes the truth about a trader faster than any other time frame. It magnifies fear, amplifies greed, and punishes hesitation with precision. It is the closest thing to looking directly into the market's bloodstream. If a trader can learn discipline here, they can learn it anywhere. The fastest way to lose money is to step into a 1-minute chart with impatience. And the fastest way to grow an account is to treat the 1-minute chart as a battlefield only meant for those who understand timing, psychology, and execution with absolute clarity. The shorter the time frame, the more ruthless the market becomes, because every flaw in judgment becomes a costly mistake. But the rewards, when approached with skill, discipline, and cold logic, can be remarkable. When I think back on the times I made and lost fortunes, I realize something that applies perfectly to the 1-minute time frame. The market does not care how much you hope, want, or wish. It responds only to laws: supply, demand, momentum, and crowd psychology. And while people believe the 1-minute chart is chaotic, it follows the same principles that govern the monthly chart. The difference is simply speed. Speed is where most traders fall apart. They think speed requires impulsiveness. The truth is the opposite. The faster the market moves, the slower your mind must become. Scalping on the 1-minute is not about catching every move. It's about waiting for the moves that matter. Those moments where price tells a story so clear, the tape almost whispers its intention. Where the crowd rushes without thinking, and where the few who understand preparation can enter with precision and exit before the rest understand what happened. Most traders lose on the 1-minute because they believe the strategy is about prediction. They try to jump into every flicker of movement. They chase candles. They panic on pullbacks. They trade noise. They trade emotion. They trade fear of missing out disguised as opportunity. But the game is never about prediction. It's always about reaction, disciplined reaction to repeatable patterns created by human behavior. On the 1-minute chart, human behavior repeats with incredible consistency. Price moves from areas where traders are trapped toward areas where traders are confident. It moves from imbalance to balance and back again. Every large move begins with a buildup of pressure, and every reversal begins with exhaustion. You see it in the candles, in the wicks, in the speed of the ticks, in the way momentum suddenly begins to stall. These signals are present on all time frames, but the 1-minute gives them nowhere to hide. The strategy that works best here is one rooted in structure, pressure, and timing. Before you even think of touching the 1-minute chart, you must look at the higher time frames. The larger structure is the map. The 1-minute chart is simply the street you walk down to get to your destination. If you zoom in without understanding the map, you will wander aimlessly until the market takes what belongs to the disciplined. Trends are born on larger time frames and executed on smaller ones. So a trader must start by identifying the direction of least resistance. If the 5-minute or 15-minute shows a clear trend, you align yourself with that force. Fighting the larger trend on a 1-minute chart is like stepping in front of a moving train. Once direction is known, the strategy hinges on one thing: levels where price has shown strong reaction. These levels are evidence of demand or supply. They show where institutions or large players made their presence known. On the 1-minute chart, these levels are the heartbeat of the strategy. Price always returns to places where orders were left unfilled. It moves back to refill imbalances. It retests zones where traders were trapped. And if you learn to identify these zones, you won't need predictions. You'll simply wait for price to return to the battlefield. The best entries on the 1-minute are not on the breakout. They are on the retest. Breakouts tempt the impatient. Retests reward the disciplined. When price pushes strongly in one direction, it eventually pulls back, and that pullback is your moment. But only if the structure holds. Only if the pullback is controlled. Only if there is no surge of opposing momentum. The market always gives at least one chance for a patient trader to enter at a fair price. But it rarely gives a second chance. When the retest comes, do not rush into it. Watch the tape. Watch the speed of the candles. Watch how the wick forms. A wick at the level shows rejection. A slow grind shows absorption. A violent bounce shows urgency. Your entry is not based on hope, it's based on evidence. Evidence that the level is defending. Evidence that the market is respecting the imbalance. Evidence that momentum is returning in the direction of your bias. The perfect scalp entry is a combination of a clear higher time frame direction, a return to a key level, and a psychological trap in the opposite direction. The trap is important. Most powerful moves on the 1 minute come from areas where traders are caught leaning the wrong way. For example, traders who short the bottom of a pullback become fuel when price reverses and squeezes them. Traders who buy the top of a small rally provide the liquidity for smart traders to enter short. The 1 minute chart is full of these traps, and once you learn to spot them, you understand why certain moves explode so quickly. Volume and volatility matter as well. A scalp is not worth taking without movement. Stagnant markets kill scalpers, but volatile markets reward those who can stay calm while others panic. A 1 minute scalper survives not because of prediction, but because of control. Control over emotion, control over risk, control over execution. Risk is where most traders destroy themselves. They believe that quick trades mean small risk. But the danger of the 1 minute is brutal precision. A stop that is too wide destroys the reward to risk ratio. A stop too tight gets hit before the real move begins. A trader must learn to place stops beyond the noise but within logic. The stop belongs behind a structural level, not behind a random candle. The level is what protects you, not luck. When price confirms the retest and momentum begins to shift in your favor, the entry should be immediate. The 1 minute does not reward hesitation. If the level is strong, you enter. If momentum matches your bias, you enter. If the tape shows conviction, you enter. And once you enter, you must be committed. Commitment does not mean stubbornly holding through pain. It means following your plan without emotion. Most scalpers lose because they hold losing trades and cut winning ones. The opposite is required. A losing trade is cut immediately. A winning trade is allowed enough room to develop. Not too much, not too little, just enough to let the trade breathe. A scalper must think like a sniper. A sniper doesn't fire many shots, but each shot is precise. A trader doesn't need 10 trades per minute. One good entry is better than 10 mediocre ones. Profit targets must be realistic. A 1 minute trend rarely lasts long. You take what the market gives. If the move shows signs of exhaustion, slowing momentum, loss of direction, opposite wicks, sudden hesitation, you exit without question. The goal is not to capture the entire move. The goal is to capture the part of the move that is certain. Certainty only exists at the beginning of a move, never at the end. A trader who waits for perfection invites disaster. The traders who survive the 1 minute chart are those who master their nerves. The ones who can sit through the temptation to enter too early. The ones who can watch a move take off without them and remain perfectly calm. The ones who understand that missing a move is far better than forcing one. I learned this lesson the hard way many times. Every loss I took came from violation of discipline, not violation of strategy. The 1 minute strategy that works perfectly is not defined by an indicator or a secret formula. It is defined by 3 pillars: structure, patience, and timing. Structure tells you where to trade. Patience tells you when to trade. Timing tells you how to execute. If any one of these is missing, the strategy collapses. To trade the 1 minute chart successfully, you must become indifferent to movement. Most traders become emotional when price moves quickly, but emotion distorts perception. A trader who panics over fast candles cannot see the underlying rhythm. Every strong move has a pattern. Every reversal has a signature. Every continuation has a tell. If you learn to see the tells, you stop guessing and start observing. The key to longevity is consistency. You cannot expect to win every scalp. You cannot expect every signal to follow through. What you can expect is that your rules will protect you if you follow them. The rules are not there to limit you. They exist to free you from chaos. And chaos is exactly what the 1 minute chart becomes for the undisciplined. The greatest mistake traders make on the 1 minute chart is believing speed is opportunity. But speed is only opportunity for those who are calm. The calm trader sees what others miss. The calm trader enters when everyone else hesitates. The calm trader exits before the crowd realizes the move is over, and the calm trader survives the market long enough to profit from it. Trading the 1 minute successfully requires mastery of self. The chart is not your opponent, your impulses are. The moment you conquer those impulses, the 1 minute chart becomes a clear reflection of human psychology, a mirror of fear and greed in its rawest form. And once you can read that mirror, the strategy becomes simple. Wait for imbalance. Wait for retest. Wait for momentum. Then strike with precision. Many people want a strategy that always works. They want a formula that guarantees profit. There is no such thing, but there is a method that works consistently when applied with discipline. A 1 minute scalping strategy built on structure, retest, and momentum, executed with patience and strict risk control, becomes as close to perfection as the market allows. It works because it is based on the market's natural behavior, not against it. The trader who survives the 1 minute chart is not the fastest or the smartest. It is the one who understands that the market rewards clarity, not emotion, the one who knows that discipline beats excitement, the one who realizes that preparation beats luck. If you want to succeed in scalping, you must think like a professional, calculated, controlled, and completely indifferent to anything that does not fit your rules. When you commit to this style of trading, you begin to see the market differently. You stop chasing, you stop predicting, you start waiting, and the market will always reward those who wait for the right moment. The 1 minute chart may be fast, but the opportunities it offers belong only to those who slow themselves down. When your mind becomes steady, the candles become predictable. When your discipline becomes unwavering, the noise becomes structure. When your psychology becomes stable, the chaos becomes opportunity. And in that moment, the 1 minute chart stops being your enemy and becomes your most powerful tool.